Yeah, we back. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up video to the one I just dropped. Brand new episode of The Culture. Definitely one of the crazier episodes than usual. But in that episode, one of the topics we touched on was a recent case. I think it happened last night or the other night, of a young lady. I think it was down in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. And in that story, we talked about how the suspect in that case actually was sent to the hospital in critical condition. But now we have an update. Apparently, he has actually passed away from his injuries. As you can see by the headline, a man accused of stabbing a woman to death before setting himself on fire has died. Now, not only do we have an update in that case, but also you remember this suspect in particular, he had restraining orders from at least 6 different women across the country, right? That's what stuck out to me the most, right? Every single time to let him right back out onto the streets. And I'm also amazed at how, like I say, when a certain demographic commits crimes, you notice the accountability never falls on their collective, right? For example, let a single black man commit a heinous act. The accountability falls on all black men as a whole. Black men do this, black men do that. Let this demographic commit a heinous act. It's just this individual. It's just himself in particular, right? Let a black man become successful. You notice it's just that one black man by himself. That positive attribute never gets attributed to all black men as a whole, right? Our negativity gets attributed to our entire collective. But you notice these guys commit heinous acts, barbaric acts on a daily basis. And you notice it never falls on their collective. They never get stereotyped with negative propaganda. I'm just amazed by that fact. But anyway, you remember in this case, you're just crazy. Police said that according to preliminary reports, the suspect, Stephen Heinrich, arrived at the victim, Stacey Charles' residence, began ramming his vehicle into her vehicle, then removed her from her vehicle, stabbed her to death, and then drove away. While he was fleeing, he entered the oncoming lane of travel and resulted in a head-on collision with another vehicle. And while inside his vehicle, he then set himself on fire. And then he was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. And then now we got the update. He has also died. So he has chosen the coward's way out, and unfortunately, he cannot be held accountable for his actions. Now, like I said in the last video, the episode of The Culture, what stuck out to me the most was the fact that he was arrested a week prior, and then he posted $2,500 bail, and he already had 6 out-of-state protective orders from various women across the country. Now, unfortunately, like we already discussed, the Stacey Charles incident, unfortunately, I think the young lady was a victim of propaganda. What she's seen on TV, what she's seen on social media. You know, she would say things like, I'm about to start taking getting a white man very serious, and just a host of other just tweets and social media posts just glorifying, you know, this particular demographic. And unfortunately, like I said, I just think she was a victim of propaganda. Truthfully, that's my assessment of the situation. And now we have victims of the other women. Like you said, he had at least 6 different protective orders against him. Now we have the families of other women who actually suffered under the terror of this individual, and they're coming out and speaking about it and what their family has experienced, you know, for the past couple years due to this suspect just constantly being let back out onto the streets. We have this lady right here, Dominique Clark, actually speaking about, she did an interview with the local news, speaking about what her daughter went through dealing with the suspect not too long ago. And I noticed that I think this is her daughter right here. And I noticed a pattern. I'm wondering if all of his victims might be black women. I'm wondering if this individual in particular was targeting black women. Because I'm looking at him, and like I said in the last video, he looks like the damn homeless dudes that sit behind the dumpster behind my family store, right? All day long drinking a beer. You know, them dudes done set up a mattress by the dumpster. They be laying down on the mattress drinking beer, you know what I mean? All the other homeless people from the homeless shelter come and they be kicking it by the mattress by the dumpster. He looked like one of them people, right? Like, I don't know, man. I don't even know, man. I'm wondering if this was a case where he targeted black women because he knew that law enforcement probably wouldn't take it too serious. They gonna let him right back out onto the streets every single time. I'm wondering because I know for a fact he couldn't get no quality in his own community. See, these guys like this, they got to go to other communities because they can't get anything of quality in their own community, right? They could take one look at him and be like, man, this dude look like a piece of garbage. I'm not dealing with this dude. He looked disheveled. He looked crazy. Man, listen, these dudes know what they doing. They know what they doing. They got to come to other communities because they don't get no love in their own community. I always say it, man. I always say it. But anyways, let's jump straight into the article. A man with a history of stalking and violating protective orders was able to get out on a $2,500 bond after allegedly beating his most recent girlfriend. A week later, Baton Rouge police said that he killed her. The police said that Stephen Heinrich, 28 years old, stabbed Stacey Charles to death in a parking lot of her apartment complex. The suspect, Heinrich, then allegedly intentionally crashed his car and then lit himself on fire. He died Friday afternoon. The mother of one of his previous victims Dominique Ramcaron, says that the victim's death should have been prevented. Now, like I said, man, it might not even only be the victim in this case that's a victim of propaganda. The police themselves might be victims of propaganda because they might think, oh, he's just a good old boy. He just a good old boy. He looked like my nephews or my sons, right? He not oh man, just go home and relax. Cool off, little buddy. Cool off, little buddy. Relax there. Don't get too crazy there, man. Come on, buddy. Come on, pal. Right. So even the police might be under hypnosis and propaganda. Right. That's why this guy just constantly letting him back out onto the streets, $2,000 bond. And anytime someone goes to the police and gets a protective order against him, he just goes off to another woman and then she gives him another opportunity and things like that. Because everybody's under hypnosis when it comes to a certain demographic. Everybody's just under hypnosis. Right. Everybody just automatically assumes they have good intentions. Why? Because I'm white. I'm white. Of course, I'm an upstanding citizen. I'm white. Anyway, let's continue. Miss Ramcaron, who lives in the same town as the suspect, Stephen Heinrich, knows him very well. He and her daughter went on a couple dates back in 2023, and since then, she says her family's life has been a nightmare. A year and a half, he has harassed and stalked my daughter. A year and a half, he has tortured us. She also says that when her daughter no longer wanted to see Mr. Heinrich, he began constantly harassing her, and even her daughter's friends, and even other family members, to the tune of hundreds of calls and messages every single day, even from fake numbers. Miss Ramcaron says the local police did not do anything about it until she got restraining orders against him, which he was arrested for violating. He, however, never served any jail time for the crimes. After he violated the protective order several times, they gave him only probation. At some point, he went down to Louisiana and began dating Miss Charles. Miss Ramcaron says that her daughter tried to warn her. Her daughter's friends reached out to the young lady and told her, leave him alone. He is crazy. He's going to stalk you. He did it to my friend. Soon after that, Mr. Heinrich was arrested for allegedly beating Miss Charles. The commissioner gave him only a $2,500 bond and a restraining order. That was just last week before the stabbing. So how does a man who has a assault, harassment, probation, warrants was able to slip through the system and only get $2,500 bail and get back to the same woman and then kill her? The investigative unit learned that at the hearing, the state did not have his complete criminal history, but did tell the commissioner that he had been arrested for violating a protective order in the past year. The system failed both of these young ladies. It failed every young lady in the path of this man. He was supposed to already be in jail. According to the police, Mr. Heinrich had restraining orders against him from 6 other women out of state. It is unclear why the DA's office was unable to find those protective orders. Now listen, this guy simply, everything in this case, the fact that he was able to slip through the system, the fact that he was able to get out of jail every single time, constantly committing felony crimes, only get $2,500 bail, violate the protective order, get right back onto the streets, give him bail once again, $2,000. The only reason he was able to do this, go state to state, commit crime after crime, back onto the streets, no time, probation at most, probation at best, and still have women still coming up, dealing with him after the fact, it's all because he was white, bro. All because he was white. All off the whiteness, bro. All off the skin. The only reason he was able to get away with this, avoid jail, deal with women after women, they showing up, giving them chances, is because dude was white, bro. I'm telling you, this was all off the whiteness. All off the whiteness, man. Listen, all off the whiteness. And you know what I'm saying is facts, because even the victim herself, all over her social media, the white man this, the white man that, the men with the skin who are white, right? So he himself has coasted through life all off the whiteness, man. All off the whiteness, bro. Anyway, the mother of one of his previous victims that had a restraining order against him, I think this was the daughter right here, this lady right here, her mother went on social media on Facebook and she said this, take a look up on the screen. My family is living through a pain that no one should ever have to experience. My daughter survived, but a child is gone because the systems that were meant to protect them did not act in time. We begged for help. We asked for protection. We did everything that we could, but the safeguards that should have been there failed them. Nothing can bring her back, but their story deserves to be heard. No other family should ever have to face this kind of loss. I'm speaking out because change is needed. Change in how threats are taken seriously, how victims are protected, and how those in danger are supported before it is too late. Now, listen, this guy knows what he was doing. I don't want to hear, well, I was going to say when he goes to trial, but he already killed himself. But there was no mental illness in this case, right? No, he knew which demographic to target that would give him a chance. regardless of his flaws and imperfections. He knew which demographic that law enforcement would not care to investigate, right? And let him right back onto the streets to go find a new individual from the same demographic. He knew exactly what he was doing. This was meticulous. This was methodical. And the reason why he crashed out is probably because he thought, because this guy right here, like I said, he probably doesn't get any love inside of his own community, right? He probably doesn't get no love from the women inside his own community. These guys like this, they got to go to other communities and get it off the whiteness, right? So he thought once he goes to other communities, they're going to probably, worship my feet. They're going to kiss my feet and kiss the ring. But then when he finds out that the women from the other communities don't even want to be with him either, then he crashes out, sets himself on fire. The whole shebang, grabbing her out of the car like it's Grand Theft Auto, stabbing her in the middle of the street, like just crashes out because he's like, damn, I can't get it in my own community. I can't get it outside the community. So this guy, man, just crashed out, man. Just crashed out, bro. Just crashed out. Eliminated himself. It's like when these guys eliminate the whole family, eliminate themselves, the family dog, man. These guys, man, get these guys off the streets, man. Put these guys away, man. Everybody in this case is a victim of propaganda, from the police to the victims themselves. Everybody was just under the propaganda of whiteness. This guy just been coasting off life through whiteness, man. And I'm glad that he took himself out the game. That's the only thing he did right in his entire worthless existence, was taking himself out the game, taking himself off the face of the earth. That's the one thing he probably did right in his entire life. But anyways, man, I'm not going to be here too long, man. It's your boy Neferkari Salim back in the building. Yes, indeed. Second single off the next project, the Spy and Bomber Code, pin comment at the top. Link in the description. Support the Patreon, NTD1814, and I'm gone. Peace.
Feel like you see me, I feel like I'm Saudi or ran up on Yana in the middle of Bamako. Enemy line, they claiming he innocent. Don't do no talking, I gotta move militant. Don't do no talking, I hit him with facts. 1804, bringing it back. 1804 like I'm Upper Cap Henry. King with the vision, the crown never empty. Top of the mountain, my soldiers defend me. Ducking and dodging the foreign intelligence. Hitting my dance on the DGSE. Dodging they traps, still on my feet. Feeling impeccable, feel like I'm shining. Go to my neck and I'm flooded with diamonds. Go to my neck and I feel like a mess. Feel like a lion, I'm in a savannah. Feel like the king when I'm up in the jungle. Never defeated, I never been humble. Come out victorious every encounter. Money machine give me help when I count it. Money machine stack it up in a beat. Heart of a king and I ride for the team. Weight of the world got it stuck on my shoulders. Bet you can feel it, my heart getting colder. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater.